Call to order a meeting for the Normal Town Council for June 17th, 2024. Please call the roll.
Mayor Coos,
Here.
Mrs. Lorenz,
Here.
Ms. Harris,
Here.
Mr. Byers,
Here.
Ms. Smith,
Here.
Mr. Preston,
Here.
Mr. McCarthy.
Here.
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have no public comment prior to the moving into the agenda and move to the omnibus agenda. Items considered routine and will be taken with one vote unless a member would like to pull an item for clarification. Ms. Lorenz?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to pull item F, as in Frank.
Move approval. Second.
Items considered under omnibus or approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting of June 3rd, 2024. A report to receive and file Town of Normal expenditures for payment as of June 12th, 2024. A resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement for technical planning services with McLean County Regional Planning Commission. A resolution to award a contract to Game Time Cunningham Associates for the purchase of modular playground units, individual units, and surfacing under the Omnia Cooperative Purchasing Program, and that is for Savannah Park in the amount of $137,014.92. And a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a design professional services contract for a sculpture park master plan with Hitchcock Design Group in an amount not to exceed $63,000. Please call the roll.
Mrs. Lorenz,
Aye.
Ms. Harris,
Aye.
Mr. Byers,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Preston,
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Mayor Coos,
Aye, those items are approved. Item F is a resolution authorizing staff to execute a guaranteed energy savings contract with Verigy LLC for work at the Children's Discovery Museum and Ecology Action Center in the amount of $1,533,698 and authorizing an associated budget adjustment. Ms. Lorenz?
Yes, so move, please.
Second.
Thank you. I pulled this item mostly because I just wanted to learn a little bit more about this project. I think it's the first iteration, perhaps, of more to come, maybe, on the energy savings. I know we entered into conversation with Verigy back last fall to proceed on these kinds of projects. So just a couple of things to maybe delve a little bit into it. Since we are doing some moving around of the timing of this project into this year as opposed to over the course of 2 years, what impact on budget, probably capital budget, do you foresee happening as a result? You know, sort of what's the opportunity cost of us doing this all in 1 year versus over 2?
Excuse me, I think I'll ask Mr. Clinch to come forward. While he's coming forward, I will explain this. We are asking council to do a budget adjustment because this project regarding the Children's Discovery Museum was budgeted over a 2-year period. We do think now, after speaking with Verigy and after their assessment of the situation, that it makes sense to do it all at one time to take advantage of purchasing quantities and minimize the risk of price increases. The new factor here is the Ecology Action Center, which had an equipment failure, so we're doing this at the same time, which was not originally planned. So, Mr. Clinch, you want to give a little bit more information about the project?
Yes, good
Thanks.
evening. Thank you for asking about this. It's an exciting project. You're right, it's the first one like this that we've done since I've been here, and I think it's a great mechanism to get work done. It's also, I do want to take a moment before I get to the specific answer to just highlight the fact that Verigy went through a competitive process, and for the first time in a very long time, I was able to say or hear that we actually came in under what we expected to spend. So that's nice. And because of that, that's part of why we wanted to do this all and commit the funds out of 2 fiscal years into one. because the savings and anticipated escalations could be to the tune of up to around 90 or 100,000. So we want to commit those funds, and of course, with the guaranteed savings, it becomes kind of an exponential, benefit to getting going, and again, kind of the old commit all the atrocities at once for Beth and get the work done instead of spreading it out. I'm sure she'd probably appreciate that. So that's the other motivation that's not in the report.
Okay, so will this adversely impact any, another project that might have been otherwise planned this year?
Oh, no. So that's what's nice about the way we're doing our capital programming, and this was an opportunity just to literally expedite it, get the savings. We would have done this next year, the larger portion. We're able to do it now. That money was already obligated to the CDM, so it will not take away from anything. If anything, it will create an opportunity. As you mentioned, maybe we'll do more this way. That's my hope, because we certainly have work to do, and this seems to be, at least all indications at this point, a good mechanism to get some work done with some guaranteed paybacks.
So on that, the guaranteed paybacks, there was a portion of the report that spoke about that in terms of some savings. Did they commit to a dollar amount? I saw where there was like a 20% savings. Was that maybe on some energy, or I don't know, there was a couple different line items. Do you have a sense of like a percentage of the total cost that they anticipate being able to guarantee?
Yeah, so it will be an actual figure. And then we're actually, I hesitate to say anything specifically, so I'm intentionally not doing that, because upon approval of this action, we will work through the legal to identify the exact parameters as an attachment to the contract, to which performance will be measured, verified. And again, I hate to be specific, because if there's a shortfall, they'll be writing the town back a check. And then if we do better, then we simply do better.
Yeah. So in the report, it talked about electrical energy savings of 20% anticipated,
Right.
Grants, incentives, reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. There was a couple others. So what I hear you saying, I think, is that more specifics will come when you get to the contract.
Right, when we finalize the contract, there will be a definitive number that they have to hit, or we will get a check, or we will exceed it. And the hope is we will exceed it. We don't want to get a check back. We'd rather have the energy savings, because that certainly, our buildings will outlast the contract.
Right. Well, keep us posted on that. Last question I have, and I'm super excited that it is for the CDM. I mean, it's probably arguably one of the more publicly visited buildings of our community, maybe besides this one, but maybe even more so. I don't know. So, wonderful that we're focusing on that building and maintaining it. Was there a reason why that one bubbled to the top? And then sort of, that's part A. Part B is what other ones, and obviously the Ecology Action Center is in it too, but to a lesser extent, what other ones do you think are on the near horizon?
I'm going to ask that we keep the conversation to the issue at hand and not talk about other projects.
Okay, so just answer the first part then. Why the CDM?
It was, the life cycles made the most sense, priority-wise, compared to what life cycles and what's going on at that building made sense. It also was an excellent candidate for an energy conservation program of this sort with guaranteed paybacks. In respect to not going too far down the road there, but we did look at a master plan of all the town facilities, and through a prioritized and selection process, it floated to the top and made the most sense.
Okay.
So,
Right.
Good.
We have done
Thank
an
you.
assessment, and we've incorporated your plans into the capital improvement for the CIP, Community Investment Plan,
Going forward.
reflects this moving forward for the next 5 years.
Great. I'm just super excited, and I think it's going to be a great project. And
Thank you.
kudos to you and your team for teeing this up.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Further on this item? Please call the roll.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Preston?
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy?
Aye.
Mrs. Lorenz?
Aye.
Mayor Kus?
Aye, that resolution is approved. We have no General orders are new business tonight, and we did have one request for public comment, but that person is not in the room. So before taking a motion for adjournment, are there concerns or comments? Mr. Preston and then Ms. Smith.
Yep, mine is just a acknowledgement and congratulations. There are a few days in people's lives that they will remember forever, and that they look forward to for some time. Toward the top of that list, if not at the very top, is your wedding day. And a colleague of ours, Mr. Byers, I believe is now a married man, and wanted to extend our congratulations to him and his now wife, Suzette, who's arguably or not arguably out of his league. But congratulations, Councilmember Byers.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Ms. Smith.
Yes, in prior years, the town has solicited comments on their CBDG or CDBG program in person and through surveys. And this year, there's going to be an opportunity for in-person events for normal residents on Thursday, July 11th at the Normal Township offices from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And no registration is required. Just show up there if you wish to listen to the information and share your thoughts. If anyone is interested in participating virtually, that opportunity will be provided on Wednesday, June 26th from noon to 1:30 p.m., and registration is required for that so you can get the necessary codes to log into that. And I hope we hear from many interested people.
Motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Byers,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Preston,
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Mrs. Lorenz,
Aye.
Ms. Harris,
Aye.
Mayor Kus.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.
All right.